The first call came at 6:12 a.m. A trembling voice. Not hers, her sister's. "Please don't do this." We were confused. She made a mistake. Mistake. I stared at the mountain fog outside my Swiss villa window, steam curling from my untouched coffee. The Alps looked merciless that morning. I didn't answer. Silence has weight. When used correctly, it crushes pride like bone under marble. Another beep. My daughter-in-law this time. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes like everyone else. Nobody needs you showing off." I almost laughed. Years of swallowing ego, funding their ambitions, pretending not to see how conveniently they loved me when it paid, how dismissively they mocked when they believed I couldn't hear. Now they were bold. Funny what people say when they think they've replaced you. My phone vibrated again. 71st missed call from my wife. I locked the screen. Some storms don't roar. They whisper first, and then they erase. It began with perfume. Wrong scent. Too floral, too young. Not hers. Then late-night phone whispers, muted laughter, hastily silenced screens when I walked by. I'd built a life out of reading the quiet parts of people. Silences, spaces between words, eye flickers lasting less than a heartbeat. She wasn't careful. Because betrayal always feels invisible to the betrayer until someone sits perfectly still and watches them drown in their own lies. The sister visited more, suddenly always helping, suddenly protective of my wife's phone like a loyal guard dog. I knew. But knowing isn't the same as proving. So I waited. No raised voice, no confrontation. Love doesn't collapse loudly. It rots quietly, like fruit left too long under gold light. One evening I kissed my wife's forehead. She flinched. Not disgust, guilt. That was the moment the marriage died. But I didn't bury it yet. Some funerals deserve an audience. I moved like a ghost in my own home, silent, observing, filing evidence like a surgeon preparing for a clean incision. Phone bills, location logs, shared cloud folders she forgot existed. They always forget. Technology remembers everything they try to hide. A hotel reservation under her sister's email. A receipt for wine neither of them ever drank together. 2 toothbrushes in a photo reflection. The sister. The lover. The apartment she financed for work. A love nest built on my bank accounts. I didn't confront her. I upgraded her credit cards instead. Raised every limit. Approved every luxury. Let greed grow fat. Comfort makes traders sloppy. Meanwhile, I called my lawyer. Quiet. Clean. Surgical. Asset reallocation. Trust locks. Beneficiary shifts. A financial guillotine. Blade raised, not dropped. And I booked a flight. Not to escape, to witness. The final piece before a decisive storm feels almost holy, like the breath before a vow, or before the last goodbye you never say out loud. DNA tests, bank logs, screenshots, all unnecessary in the end. Truth spoke for itself when I walked in early, unexpected. A candlelit table, her dress, the wrong cologne lingering like arrogance. The lover froze. She froze harder. Her sister pretended to faint. Cowards collapse when dignity demands backbone. I didn't shout. Emotion is currency. I no longer spent mine on debt. I placed one envelope on the table. Financial statements, photos, proof. Her voice cracked. "You knew? For how long?" "Long enough to let you believe you were smarter." Her tears started. The lover vanished like smoke. No loyalty in borrowed hearts. The sister reached for me. "Please, let's talk." I stepped back. "Talk? You already did. You planned. You built a future without me. I simply paid for it." Their shame smelled stronger than the roses, and I left. No slamming doors, no rage. Just a quiet severing, the kind people feel forever. I didn't ruin them. They ruined themselves. I merely stopped funding the performance. Credit lines closed, employment contract terminated for ethical conflict, family stipends ceased, every hidden favor, every silent bailout vanished like morning frost. They thought money was a river. Turns out it was a faucet, and I owned the valve. Thanksgiving came. A message buzzed. If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash dishes like everyone else. Entitled voices echo loudest when they're sure they'll never echo alone. I replied one word: enjoy. Then I posted a single photo: snow-draped Swiss villa, fireplace glow, crystal glass. Peace earned, not bought. My phone erupted, 71 calls. Desperation dials louder than entitlement ever spoke. I answered none. Sometimes victory is silence heavy enough to suffocate regret. People expect rage, screaming, a grand finale. They don't understand power. Real power is absence. Absence of reaction, absence of access, absence of forgiveness. They crumbled, predictably. Savings evaporated, reputation fractured, family turned inward, cannibalizing their excuses. I didn't watch. I didn't need to. I wasn't punishing them. I was freeing myself. Love didn't die in betrayal. It died in my quiet acceptance that not everyone deserves my loyalty. And what they called revenge, I call it subtraction. Removing rot is not cruelty. It is hygiene. In the end, all I kept was silence. And silence, when earned, tastes sweeter than vengeance. I poured a glass of wine on my balcony overlooking the Alps and finally exhaled. They wanted access to my life. They earned a view of the door closing instead. Some doors don't slam. They lock softly, forever.